everybody. Jill Lublin is an international speaker on the topics of radical influence, publicity, networking, kindness, and referrals. She is the author of 4 best-selling books, including Get Noticed, Get Referrals, Guerrilla Publicity, and Networking Magic. Her latest book, The Profit of Kindness, went #1 in 4 categories. Jill is a master strategist on how to position your business for more profitability and more visibility in the marketplace. She is the CEO of a strategic consulting firm and has over 25 years experience working with over 100,000 people, plus the national and international media. Jill teaches a virtual publicity crash course, and she consults and speaks all over the world. She also helps authors to create book deals with major publishers and agents, as well as to obtain foreign rights deals. So with that, Jill, take it away.
Thank you so much. And I want to tell you that when I wrote The Profit of Kindness, what was interesting to me was the power of number one, kindness in business, how it multiplies revenues, how it creates ongoing remembering of you, what you do, all that fun stuff. Before I do that, I'd love to find out a little bit about you and where you came from. We have a few other folks that may be joining us, but since we have a more intimate crowd today, I'd love Vanetta, let me know, how did you find out about this, and tell us about you for a moment.
I just basically was looking at different things on Meetup. I haven't looked at it in a really long time, and I've gone through a lot of transition and change in my life since last year. So I just feel like I'm in a place where I'm kind of building a new chapter for myself. And so kind of what the group was about, that it was sort of talking about like different types of professions. So it's not just, the regular professions. It's also about healers and spirituality and people like that. So that pretty much drew me in. So I was just sort of like, let me just see what you're going to share today. And I'm all about love and kindness and support. So I just wanted to find out more.
Oh, well, thank you and welcome. And where are you from?
I'm in Chicago.
Oh, wonderful. Well, welcome, welcome. I'm so glad you're here.
Thank you.
And Mel, what about you? Where'd you come from, and how'd you find out about this?
Um, Hi everyone. Hi Jill. I come from Northern California, about an hour north of San Francisco, known as the Sonoma County wine country. And I have known Jill for a while, and I love her kindness, the way that she's talked about kindness. And so I'm just really happy to be here.
Oh, thank you. So glad you made it. And Ratna, I know you're off camera if you can come on for a moment, but let us also know where you're from and how you found out about this and what do you do? Hopefully Ratna can hear us. And Mel, while Ratna's maybe coming on, why don't you also share, what do you do?
Yeah, so I am a intuitive business coach and legacy wealth mentor. And where we're really focused on now is helping and supporting women to create the financial stability and reoccurring income so they can really do their purpose work and to live life on fuel instead of fumes, so that we can really, really do give back in a way that feels expansive rather than giving from an empty cup. And that is what we do.
Beautiful. Thank you. Vanetta, would you want to share what you do? I know you said you're in transition. Have you decided what your next phase is?
Yeah, so I've been in hospitality for a really long time. I've been a concierge since 2001. I love the job. I was laid off last year. I think for me, I've always known, um, like while I was doing that, I also became an entrepreneur. I had my own food business company for a few years, which I kind of closed down in end of 2019. And then due to that closure, it was, basically a business partnership that failed, quite traumatic. So 2020 really was a year for me, really go inwards and do all my healing work. And I think I've been drawn and pulled towards being a healer. I think I've always known that I'm here to be of service. And so I just got certified in end of March to be a quantum healer. So I'm really starting to move into that space and looking at some other ideas too. to kind of add to that because I have a lot of interests. So I want to kind of use all of those to mesh them and kind of create my own brand.
Oh, beautiful. Well, you have a lot of good experience, which is great and exciting to start something new. How wonderful. How
Thank
wonderful. Well, welcome, welcome. And Ratna, are you able to come on camera or take yourself off mute and hang out with us, so to speak? Let's see if that's a possibility for you. Hopefully, maybe, hopefully. Give a moment. Okay. All right. So here's the thing about kindness that's really key. So when I was writing the book, what I discovered is that there are what I call seven return on kindness principles. What do I mean by that? I mean that what I noticed is, and by the way, these changed even as we were writing the book, even as I was interviewing companies. But what I noticed is those companies, people, whether they were small companies, big companies, whether they were one person companies or major corporations, they all had something in common. And that was that the CEOs were happier. That could mean me or you, right? Their clients were happier. They made more money. Funny enough, yes, kindness does increase your revenues. And, just they were more fulfilled, period. So I definitely noticed that. And then what I was looking at was, everybody's concerned about ROI, return on investment, right? So I wanted to see what was return on kindness, rocks, ROK. So I made up a new word called ROK instead of ROI because it does give rocks, ROK does give you ROI on your business. And we found seven traits that were really, I would call them return on kindness principles. So let me show you what they are. Mary Beth, are you able to show the screen on this? Would be great. And then I want to ask you about your experience with these. And since we're a more intimate group, we often do breakouts. I mean, in the bigger community, we definitely do breakouts. But let's see where that goes for right now. So the seven pathways of kindness are generosity, compassion, gratitude, positivity, flexibility, patience, and connection. And these are what I was finding the whole time was if you practice these, then guess what happened? Much more kindness in your life, right? And so what was interesting about that was like things like when I was writing the chapter on patience, guess what happened? I called a utility, our local utility company. And what happened was that I was put on hold for an hour. Like, yeah, does this happen to anyone? You call someplace, you're put on hold for like an hour. And they came back to me and they thanked me for my patience. And I thought, who said I was patient? you know? But here's the thing. It's that kindness, right? And the power of being that kindness, of connecting to it, of being in that moment of letting it go to a certain extent. But I did just think that was funny and interesting and amusing somewhat. All these things that come up to test us, I'll call it, and I thought that was really fun. So with that, and with those seven pathways to kindness, well, I'm just going to take a quick poll. Okay, here's my poll. Raise your hand, and you can do it in the reactions or in the Hollywood Square if you would like to do a breakout to discuss this, or if you'd like to discuss it publicly. So raise your hand if you'd like to do a breakout to discuss it. Let me see that. Okay. Raise your hand if you'd like to discuss it publicly.
Yeah,
Whoop.
sure.
Okay. Mel, where are you at with that? Oh, you're on mute.
Either one.
Okay. Phyllis, welcome. Do you have an opinion about that? Whoop. Say again, Phyllis. I think, oh, Phyllis, just so you know, we can't hear you. Okay, so Mary Beth, let's put everyone on mute again for just a moment. So I think what we'll do is we'll actually just have some public discussion, just cause, right? And again, in our year of kindness community, we do breakouts, we share leads, we share the referrals, and it's very exciting that way. And I think what would be wonderful for right now is to talk about this. So here's my question: which of these 7 return on kindness principles do you need to practice right now? Just one, just pick one. I know we all have to practice different ones in different times depending on who's talking and what's going on. But let's work on one. And just so you know how the rest of this time will go, we're going to talk about this for a little bit, and then I'm going to let you know how to join the Year of Kindness community. And then what I'd like to do is let's practice what we do in the kindness community, and that is leads and referrals. In other words, you get to ask for one act of kindness that you could use some support with. So be thinking about that as we are sharing, and let it be a vulnerable sharing if you can. And I'd love to hear from you. What's the one return on kindness principle that you need to practice right now? Who would like to share?
Jill, I'm so sorry. I was not taking notes, so I
Okay,
don't
well, no,
remember.
no worries, no worries.
So if Mary Beth can just post them in the chat, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, no worries. You will post that in the chat, and then pick one, which will be great. What's the one you need to work most on? Mel, do you have anything on that specifically right now?
The one that kind of popped out for me was patience. And it's not so much patience with other people, it's patience with myself. Like,
Ah,
yeah. I
ah,
often find that I'm the least kind to myself and I'm the least patient with myself, thinking that like everything has to be already done, already in place, already, built out. And what I found is when I'm more kind with myself and more patient with myself, the more I'm kind and more patient to other people. And
beautiful.
even though I'm already like, that's one of the things that I, when people know me, they're like, oh yeah, you're such like a nice, kind person. It's like, but do you know the chatter that's going on in my own head? And it's not like things negative about you, but when there's chatter going on in my own head, it goes back to the connection thing, where it's like, if I have chatter in my own head about like how I'm showing up, what I'm saying, not, the 20 things on my to-do list, I'm not in connection with you the way that I would like to be.
Beautiful. That's really well spoken, which ties into connection, right? Because, and I think this has been an interesting, weird thing, honestly, in this past year, 15 months, is the distraction and in a way, at one level, we all get to connect far more than we ever have, which I'm very grateful for. And the other side of it is, I think we're all more distracted than we've ever been, because when can you, I mean, listen, when I speak, I'm asking people to put things in the chat, so yes, I have to look at the chat and look away from you, and like that, right? Even that small little thing, which actually still is connection and still is engagement, also is disconnection. I noticed today I was actually speaking on someone's event for a short time, and during when I was speaking, somebody else was chatting something, their introduction basically. Now, hey, super great. I'm all for it, but actually it's distracting. And it's like we be in a room, let's say Mel, you and I, and then Vanita's over there talking to Phyllis. And so like what would happen with that, right? Nothing. Would there be no connection? So anyway, it's just something really interesting. It's kind of new issues on in this year, and of course, staying positive. I'm sure, I don't know about all of you, but listen, I think that's been a big issue. How do we stay positive, right? How do we stay upbeat every day and give gratitude? One of my gratitude practices, I'll just share. I don't keep a gratitude journal because that's just one more thing that I got to do, but I can speak it. So every morning and every night, I speak 5 things I'm grateful for. Speak it out loud. So that's what I do. That's quite helpful for me. And it helps ground me in gratitude and leaves me with the last thing I think about besides worry is gratitude, right? And I just think those are really good things to do. But and then, I don't know about all of you, but I think I honestly, this 15 months has made me more patient, just because we've had to give people so much flexibility, another pathway to kindness, so much compassion. We'd have to be hopefully generous in this past 15 months, right? And so anyway, just think about, like, even these, this past time, what have you really had to practice, and what have you become better at? Also could be interesting. And I know for me, patience has absolutely actually increased. I think the other day I waited 25 minutes for my food to come from a restaurant I knew could deliver it, and she said, "We're really short staffed. We don't have people want to work," which actually is sort of a new problem that, I don't know if you've noticed this, but new problems that the hospitality industry, Vanetta, has been facing is people aren't coming back to work or don't want to work in restaurants anymore, or I'm just seeing it in different places, that service has really been impacted because of that, which creates a choice for kindness, right? To be patient. I was actually doing a spa treatment for the first time in a long time, last week, and it took 30 minutes to check me out. I'm like, 30 minutes? Oh my God. You're undoing the spa treatment here. So at one point, my husband took over and I walked outside, which was great, because what I know is that for me was detracting, I'll call it, from the experience. So he handled it, which is great. And I just went and sat down and beat in my patience, right? But I realized, my gosh, 30 minutes. Why? Same thing. They aren't trained. They're new people. So I really, it's been really in my face a bit about the kind of new issues that we're having that require kindness, flexibility, patience, compassion, generosity of time, right? Because people aren't trained to do new jobs, and there's a lot of crossover and turnover. Have you noticed? Yeah, so just putting that out there. Okay, thank you for sharing that, Mel. Benita, how about you?
Yeah, I would say for me, it's compassion, both for myself as well as for people, especially those close to me, like family and things. I have a lot of things going on in my family right now. My mom lives all the way in India and she's having some medical issues. And I don't know if you all know that things are pretty challenging in India. So just the fact of even trying to go there, she's by herself, family dynamic. So it's just not only compassion, but I think there's a piece about, I think we all sort of have this vision, not overtly, but we all kind of want a sense of control of how things are going to go, how things are going to look. And I think what I'm realizing as the weeks are rolling is I can't control any of these things. They're out of my control. The only thing I can control is myself and my emotions and how I feel about it. And so for me, it's just really bring forth that practice of being in a space of compassion where I'm not judging anything or anybody in this situation and just saying, okay, the universe has a plan. I'm going with the flow. All I can do is be there and support. And like you have said, like approach with kindness and love and just kind of move through that way. So that's kind of really the space that I'm living in because the rest of the things, honestly, for me, 2020 has been like a blessing because I could just spend all that time on myself, like just focus on what I need to heal, what I need to do. So everything that you were sharing in like the 7 things, I mean, that was all naturally part of that process. And I just feel like right now, compassion is the piece that I'm sort of feeling like, okay, there's still some work that is needed in that area. But, I'm trying to take it one day at a time. And I'm just realizing as I'm shifting, my external environment is kind of reflecting that. So that's kind of where I'm at.
So I love that, and that's powerful. And Vanetta, a couple things. First of all, many good thoughts for your mom, and for her immediate healing.
Yeah.
So I just want to put that out there, and I also want to tell you that Prophet of Kindness has been put out in India
Mm.
by one of the largest publishing companies there called Jaiko. So I would love for you to maybe, tell her to go get it, or, send it to her, whatever works. But spread the word in India to anyone you know. I'd be so grateful, because obviously very exciting. That was our first foreign rights translation. It's actually in English, but they changed covers. They did a little bit on some of the wording, and we're so excited.
Great.
So just to share that with you.
Okay.
So yeah, funny enough, letting go of that control, right? So where does that come in? Flexibility, patience, gratitude, right? Connection to what's happening in the present moment. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. All right, Phyllis, can you come on now? Let's see if it's possible for you to come in. What do you need to work on using the 7 return on kindness principles? I hope her audio is working because I see she went off mute.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, there you go, Phyllis. Thank you. And can you bring your camera on by chance? Oh, yay! There you go. Welcome. Which of
Thank
these
you.
kindness principles might be something for you?
Probably patience. However, most of these things, when the pandemic started, our church closed because of the pandemic. So I started a daily email to all of my friends at the church, and it grew. I also started sending it to 2 or 3 other groups that I had. I play bridge, competitive bridge, and I started sending my bridge group. So that takes some connection, positivity, because the emails every day, there's a song, and there's something. It's either, it can just be something funny, it can be something like I sent out the information on the kindness circle, that kind of thing, anything that comes in. There's so much good out there on the internet nowadays. It's incredible. So I share something every day like that.
Well, Phyllis. Thank you first of all for sharing the kindness circle. That's very kind of you. And what a beautiful thing, you took leadership when some people were losing hope, right? And you were creating connection. It sounds.
Connection. That was the whole point, was to keep people connected, and it's been quite a blessing. It's I get fed from that because I get feedback from people who sometimes they'll share things every now and then. I'll put out a challenge. I'll ask them, like they used the song, Give Me One Moment in Time. And I ask people to share their one moment in time. And many people shared so many interesting things. And especially the bridge group. When we play bridge, we are not very social. Bridge is a social game, but competitive bridge really isn't. So we've gotten to know each other better since the pandemic, and having to play virtually and having to connect online than we did when we met in person. And it's just been an incredible thing, and I'm grateful. I was led to do that. I have been divinely led all my life, and I was led to do that, and it's been a blessing to me, and evidently a blessing to many of the people who share with me that it has been. Flexibility as far as switching from doing things live to doing things on Zoom. When we stopped doing the church, we started doing it on Zoom for the first time, and I'm the one who coordinates everything. I get the speakers, the ministers, the music, all of that. So the flexibility of going from person to Zoom. But sometimes I guess patience is the thing that at times is perhaps my failing. I do sometimes get impatient when I'm put on hold for an hour or half an hour or whatever. I get impatient sometimes with people who have committed to doing certain things and then they don't do them. Um, and I'm able to get through it, but it still is, it does affect my patience sometimes.
I'm sure we all understand that, Phyllis, and thank you. And Phyllis, where did you find out about the kindness circles? I love finding out where people find out about it.
Tell you the truth, I don't even remember. I have, I look up so much stuff on the internet, and
Oh,
I
that's great.
belong to things like I belong to your Year of Miracles. I did the Yes to Success with Deborah Parman, and there's
Yeah.
just so many, Sonia Riccati. It could have been most through any of these people that,
Yes.
and
Yes. Could have been through those
yeah,
first two.
there's
Well,
just so many
wonderful.
wonderful things out there that it's
I know.
incredible.
It's exciting, isn't it? It's
It
very
is.
exciting. Well, good. And I appreciate that and the sharing. Hey, Ratna, are you available at all by chance? Take yourself off mute so we can see. And thank you, Phyllis, for sharing.
Thank you all for being here.
No, maybe not still. Okay. So a couple things. First of all, I think we can all relate to each. Can you all relate to something somebody said in there? Yes, I know I can. So thank you for sharing that, each of you, vulnerably and from a place of what's up for right now. And I think this is for me what's really been driving the kindness piece. Just so you know, God planted a seed in my heart to run these kindness circles when the Prophet of Kindness came out, right? That's the book, The Prophet of Kindness. And to be honest, I was busy promoting the book and running around speaking. I teach a publicity course. We'll put something around the publicity course in here too. But so it wasn't my main priority at that moment. And then when COVID hit, I'm like, okay, we are doing this now. And our first kindness circle was like 60 people. I'm like, okay, we think we're onto something. And now people now have joined the kindness community. And I'd love to just, if I may, take a moment to tell you about the kindness community. And then what I'd love to do is we're going to share some leads and leads, referrals, or what do you need next? Sound good? You guys okay? Yeah. Okay. So when we started doing these kindness circles, what I saw was the need for really a community, not just like a circle every month, but a community. And that's what I created. It's called the Year of Kindness. Every month for 1 hour, we gather online on Zoom together, live and interactive, in a beautiful community of like-minded spirits who are committed to kindness and who are in business, different aspects. Some do all kinds of diverse businesses and from all over the world, which has been wonderful. And what I'd love to do is invite you to be part of this community. What we do besides gather on the 1 hour on Zoom, and they're always recorded for any reason you can't make it, obviously, you get the recording. But what we do is we have a thought leader, like a major thought leader. I don't know if you've ever heard of Bob Berg. He's the go-giver. Raise your hand if you've heard of Bob Berg. He's awesome and amazing. He's going to be our thought leader for this coming up one in July. I've had amazing people like Marcy Shimoff, who wrote Happy for No Reason and runs the Year of Miracles that Phyllis was talking about. So just amazing people. They talk for like 10 minutes. They're not even, they're amazing people, but they talk for like 10, 15 minutes. And then we go into circles with a question that they ask us to answer. So you get to know people. And then we also have a second circle that is a referral connection circle. What do you need next? And that's produced amazing results and lots of miracles and connections for people. Also, we have like a skill sheet so that you can keep in touch with people in between. And on top of that, we have a PR challenge, since I'm a PR expert, to create kindness in their communities and report back on that. So we have kindness keepers all around the world who are now part of the Year of Kindness community. And then on top of that, let me just say, it's $97 for the entire year. It's my intro price, make it very affordable, which includes every recording we've had. And on top of that, obviously, you're going to be live with us for the next part of the year. Then I'm also doing a kindness summit. And I'm so excited about this. This will be a live interactive summit, also on Zoom. I just think, frankly, it's going to be easy to do everything on Zoom. That way, since I have people from all around the world, everybody can come and keep it really easy. Mary Beth, also, will you put the link in the chat? We're going to give you the link in the chat how to join. So what I'm going to do, I'm selling the Kindness Summit tickets by themselves for $97. What I'm going to do is give you the Year of Kindness and the summit, and guess what? A copy of The Profit of Kindness. Everything for $97. Consider it my intro price. Consider it a gift to you. And what I know is the power of us coming together in what I like to say conscious acts of kindness. Forget this random acts of kindness stuff. I want you to practice conscious acts of kindness. So I'm going to invite you to join the community. You can click the link there. $97 for everything. So I kept it very affordable and simple for you to say yes to. And I hope that you're going to come join us. So that's my invitation to you. And while also I'm talking about kindness, I just want to say I'm also a publicity expert. If that's something you need help with, I teach a fabulous virtual publicity course. It's get her done, no nonsense, live, interactive with me, done in one virtual day for everything you need for publicity to get your message out to the world and let your light shine brighter. Okay, and we're also running a pandemic special on that. The course was, I'm just going to tell you, over $1,000. Now it's only $197. And Mary Beth will post the info on that, and you can get lots of information on that on publicitycrashcourse.com. But she'll also post, we have a special code we're going to give to you as a great special for you to be part of our publicity course. And so speaking of publicity, people say to me, Jill, if you're a publicity expert, why'd you write a book on kindness? So here's what's interesting. I have found that kind companies get more publicity. I mean, would you agree by being kind, people will refer you more, remember you more? Can you agree to that? Let me just see. Yes? Yeah, thank you. Me too. And in fact, I want to show you a super cool story about Panera Bread. Panera Bread Company, this is featured in The Profit of Kindness. There's this man was taking care of his grandma, and this is basically pretty much her last night on earth. And she wanted clam chowder, and it was Tuesday. Well, Panera Bread does not make clam chowder on Tuesday. They make it on Friday. So he called up his local, Panera Bread franchise and said, my grandma's dying and she really wants the clam chowder. And the woman said, basically, I'm so sorry, but we don't usually make it on Tuesday. But after listening to him, she did the right thing, which is the kind thing. And the kind thing isn't always playing by the rules, my friends. We break the rules sometimes to be kind, to do the right thing, right? Would you agree? Yes? And so with that, the woman, probably a minimum wage worker answering the phone, doing the cashier, made the clam chowder, gave him a tin of cookies when he came in. And I'd like you to look at the screen. That story he posted in social media. This is called publicity, right? And so far, they have over 350,000 likes, engagements, comments. Do you think that's good publicity? Being kind, yes? Not to mention they made it into my book, which gets a lot of publicity. Not to mention we talk about this. All of this is publicity. That's what kindness in action does for you. It gets you great publicity, visibility, and you do it because it's the right thing to do. Yes? And so I want to encourage you to practice a conscious act of kindness every single day. I know in the invitation to our Year of Kindness community, I said, let's practice a conscious act of kindness. And every single time we're together, I'm giving you resources to do that with. And amazing people like Bob Berg. And we had a Harlem Globetrotter on our last one. So amazing. He's got a conscious kind community going. There's all kinds of amazing things, like Phyllis was saying, that's happening right now. And I want you to be part of this movement. So with that, what we do is we create a community where we practice consciously. So I'm very excited about that. Now, what I'd love to do is let's hear from you. What do you need? And need's a funny word. What would you like? What would you like as an act of kindness from us? Now, here's the thing I'm going to ask you again. Now, in our sessions, by the way, our communities, well, let me just say my goal is over 200 by the end of the year, and we're at about 130. Is that true, Mary Beth, or are we above? Yeah, about 130 right now. So we've got 70 more to go. Come on, join us, spread the word. And in fact, you can take that link and spread the word to your communities, would also be super great. And I will tell you, we're going to reach 200 easily, frankly, easily, between all the groups I'm a part of before the end of the year, which means a lot more people getting together with conscious kindness. And what I've been noticing in our groups is that referrals are happening and people are making money. Why? Because they know they're in a like-minded, powerful, connection group that's about kindness. So love that. And for an hour of time a month and a kindness summit and the book, it's a super investment into you for keeping kind, and being in service to others. So to be in service to you, we'd love to know, just like one sentence, what's one thing you would like that would be an act of kindness from us? What do you need next? And then here's the thing, if you hear something that somebody says, do me a favor, private chat them. Don't put it in the main chat, but private chat them. The chat is open about you've got a lead for them, you can help them. Okay, and let's just keep this like popcorn quick. Who'd like to go first? Raise your hand if you'd like to go first. Come on.
Well, I just have a question, and I guess it could tie into this. Is you said to spread the word. And does that mean that the $97 offer you're making is available to anybody we spread the word to?
Yeah, actually, I'm keeping that open for the whole year. It is my intro price. I don't make a big deal about that, but it is my intro price. And I'm sure Phyllis, I mean, you've been in other programs. They're about 2 to 3 times that. But yes, you can absolutely spread that to your community.
So if they do that, they'll get the same thing you're saying that we'll get. The summit, the
well,
monthly,
I don't usually do the summit with it, but go ahead.
and
Because yes.
that and the book also.
Yes, we'll do that. We'll do that because you showed up, and frankly, because you asked. Usually it's honestly only to the people who show up. But I'm fine with that, Phyllis, and I appreciate you spreading the word. Thank you. And I will tell you, really, honestly, the summit alone is going to be a $97 ticket. But what I'm doing with everyone who shows up, everyone who's already saying yes to kindness, is including everything. So that's exciting.
So that would be the link that you gave us, the
That's right.
Lublin.com/Year of Kindness.
That's right. And you can just click it from there and then send it out. Absolutely. Thank you. Appreciate that. Who'd like to ask for something, or what would be an act of kindness? It can be just hold a good thought, whatever best serves you. Who'd like to ask? And this, by the way, is one thing we do all the time that's been really powerful in the Year of Kindness community. In our circle, we always have this part, which is super great. And sometimes people just ask, for a prayer or a good thought, or sometimes a very specific request. How can we help you?
Can I ask for something else?
Yes, absolutely.
For some reason, it has come into my attention so many people that I that are in my life have been affected by cancer.
Mm,
Cancer just seems to be. I hear it on the TV. I hear it just just seems to be getting a bigger and bigger problem. And what I'd ask for is the prayer, the intention, the whatever that this cancer be healed, just worldwide, just be done away with.
beautiful, beautiful. Thank you for that. Yes, let's let's get rid of cancer, shall we? And I think we could be close. Meaning within a few years. I would pray and hope that because we certainly have the technologies and the know-how, and obviously COVID took a bit over. Even my friend in Germany was saying that their cancer research center became, frankly, a COVID research center. But I do think we're all at work on this, and so let's just take a moment, shall we, and put some good intention and focus on that as a creation. Thank you, Phyllis, for bringing that forth and for asking for that request. We appreciate that.
Thank you all.
Who else has a wonderful request for kindness or something you need help and support with? We may answer it here. It may be a referral, or it may be somebody who's inspired to connect to you. Vanetta?
I was just going to actually add, it's funny when Phyllis spoke, because I was actually going to say that if we could all just sort of send love out into planet, but when she talked about cancer, I think it's also important to include anybody that has physical, emotional, and anybody that has any health issue, to sort of hold space for all of them. And I think all of us to be really conscious of what we put into universe, because where your attention goes, energy flows. So we want to be talking about health and wellness in the universe is kind of what I was going to say. Let's just be in that space of really spreading just love and healing to everybody who needs it on the planet.
Yes, thank you, Vanetta. And there's so many who need it. And certainly we have our share, as we all know, of issues that we're all having because of everything that's been happening. And it affects everybody in different ways. And frankly, I think everybody's affected at one level or another with something, right? So let's just call for the immediate, shall we say, healing of whatever is needed for each individual. And that could be in any area. How about that?
Yes, that's it.
Beautiful. Beautiful. So we're just calling that in and calling it out.
Perfect.
Thank you for that. Thank you for presencing that. Mel, how about you?
Yeah, I want to resonate the healing of the planet and healing of ourselves and our families and our communities. And one of the ways that I have been aligning myself to profit in kindness and profit in generosity. And I partnered with a Google-backed project that's creating reoccurring income that's truly plug and play and receive. And it's allowing a lot of people who have struggled or have really giving hearts, but they have giving hearts and they struggle to put food on the table, to really give from abundance. And so I'm looking for people who want to be referral partners in that, so that everybody can receive and give, so that we can elevate and to lean more into kindness. Because when we're burnt out or struggling, it makes it really hard to be both kind to ourselves and kind to others. And so that's why it's been our mission to profit more in kindness and generosity.
Beautiful. And say again what the specific project is so people can hear that
Yeah,
one.
it's called the People's Network, and it is backed by Google Ventures. So it's a solid project that's making people, really good people, a lot of money. It's putting it basically it's building and it goes into connections too, because it's building a coverage network that's similar to cell towers, but it's safe and it's energy efficient. And guess what? Instead of the big corporations profiting from data usage, it is the people who are building the network that are profiting. And
Wow.
so it's the good people that get to profit.
Oh, that's beautiful. Okay, so if you'd like more information or maybe know somebody who would, make sure to private chat the people who are talking and definitely ask for more info or schedule a time to connect personally. I think would be super great, right? Oh, I love that. Thank you. Thank you. That's really interesting. Because here's the truth, we're all in business, right? And everybody is promoting or offering something, and be okay with that, right? It's how exciting it is to offer your gift to the world. In my case, it's publicity and kindness. In your cases, Mel, it's a way that people can make more money doing good, right? Vanetta, it's in healing now. It sounds like, in how you're going to be moving into next. Phyllis, it's in your connecting and how you're serving that way. And I think really we want to know that whatever way you do it, it's a gift. Now, Mary Beth, I'd love you to share. Mary Beth and I have worked together, gosh, 9 years already. She's my wonderful, amazing assistant who keeps all the wheels turning and everything going. And Mary Beth, what would you like to ask for or put out into the world?
Oh, besides the obvious, the world peace and, end hunger. I mean, it really is just the small little things that make a difference. So just go out and everybody do one small kind thing a day and just watch the ripple effect. That's what I wish. I don't I don't have an actual simple one little thing that I want or need or would like to see. It's just an overall, can't we all just get along?
Yeah. Yes, but you know what? You said something really important, and this is something, if I have to underline this 3 times, it's called, and Mary Beth said it, one act a day, one conscious, I'm going to put in the word conscious act of kindness every single day. So what does that mean? Listen, if I get in bed and I don't think I've quite done something that day, and I'm always referring people and connecting people, and to me that's an act of kindness. But if for some reason I haven't, or whatever happened and the day got away from me, or I wasn't able to give in the way I want to, I will send a text, send an email, thinking of you, right? I might write it and send it the next day, but at least I wrote it, right? So this is so easy to do, and I really think, particularly now with, we'll say, practicing more patience. When you're out in the world, because so many things are opening up newly, and I think patience with each other. I don't know about you, but I'm not quite sure how to act when I see certain people. I'm not quite hugging everyone yet. I'm not. I don't feel comfortable. And I'm a hugger. I love hugging. I love interacting. Half my month before all this happened was spent on the road in airplanes, at conferences, events, speaking or attending and investing in myself, whatever it was. So everything's changed for me in my world. And to be honest, I had to be patient with myself around, I'm not quite sure how to handle all this right now. And I think to be patient with each other, including when somebody doesn't feel comfortable. And I'm sure we've all noticed our different levels of comfort throughout this whole pandemic, right? And I remember I had a little pod here, and one of my friends, he basically insisted that even outdoors, everyone was wearing masks. We had, maybe 4 people over, but, for me, that was loving him, even though I didn't really want to wear a mask outside of my own home, right? But that was loving him and being kind, because in his world, he actually has an autoimmune system breakdown, and, everything does matter. So what I've really learned is the flexibility. And I think this is really important that no matter where people are at in their journey with the pandemic, with their own patience, with their own kindness, um, just be really extra, shall we say, extra patient with people. I think that's really a key right now, and it will probably be a key through the end of the year, as far as I can tell, because we are coming out of a time that we've never been through before, and we're going through things that all of us are new to, and in the whole world, frankly, the whole world. It amazes me that what we've all been through. So I think the kindness is so important right now in every piece of what we're doing. Okay, so I just really ask you, keep being kind, practice conscious acts of kindness, reach out to each other now, save the chat, come on into the community. Let's be consciously kind every single month. You will love the people. We're 130 strong. We'll be growing significantly. Wait till you see what I have in my store for you at the summit. And then every single month, we've got amazing people who will inspire you and empower you in a very short, like TED Talk, less than TED Talk, 10 minutes style. And then we meet each other. It's really impressive what's been going on, way beyond what I dreamed, and I'm so grateful for being able to spearhead it. But it really is about the people in the community, and that's the excitement of what you get to share, is the people in the community from all over the world, from all walks of life. So come on in. The link is in the chat, and I'm so excited that you showed up today. If I can help you with publicity, obviously register for the course. That's super well priced. And I think Vanetta, for something like what your new business would be excellent for you. So really, I thank you for coming in. I thank you for being kind to each other, for listening to each other, right? For being supportive of each other. And let me just, I like to pick from quotes. Okay, I have quotes. So Harold Kushner said, "When you are kind to others, it not only changes you, it changes the world." Can you all give me a thumbs up on that? Yes? Yes, absolutely. So thank you for coming to change the world today. I welcome you to our world, to our community. I'm excited to meet all of you live, and keep spreading the word, keep being kind, and have a blessed rest of your day.